Time now for Better Money with Joel Johnson. Today we're talking about what to do when you are forced to retire. Joel is a certified financial planner and managing partner at Johnson Brunetti. We've been hearing about companies laying off really hundreds of people, Frontier, Fuel Cell, Boeinger. I mean, sometimes this wasn't something you planned for.
No, it's amazing. I mean, every week it seems like in the current or news sources, they're talking about another Connecticut company offering early retirements or just not even making a special offer to people, just laying a bunch of people off. So it's a startling thing. It's a scary thing that happens, especially if you're getting close to retirement. A lot of people have the question, could I actually retire or do I need to go back to work?
So that's the first thing I need to ask you. Do I need to work?
Yeah, and when I say when I wrote the book, it's do you need to work from a financial standpoint, but there's another aspect of that, which is emotionally, do I need to work?
Yeah.
Do I need to work to feel some purpose? But I was mainly talking about from a financial standpoint. A lot of people could retire and they just don't realize it, so they get into a panic when if they sat down with a financial advisor or if they knew how to do the work on their own, figured out, hey, I've actually got enough. I've got enough in the bank, I've got enough in investments to retire right now. So that's the first question to ask, because the answer to that will dictate some of the other things that you do when you get this early retirement offer or this forced retirement.
Should I collect unemployment? Can everybody who gets laid off collect?
Everybody who gets laid off can collect if they worked for an employer that was paying into unemployment, and that is almost everybody. There's some exceptions to that. School systems are exempt because people just get laid off in the summertime. But almost everybody, especially with these big companies that we're talking about, can collect unemployment.
Okay, so then you have to ask the question, if you're at that age, should you be taking your pension or Social Security or both?
Correct, and this is where, again, a good financial plan needs to come into place. You don't want to trigger these things too early if you don't need the money, because if you don't need the money, as we know, if we delay Social Security or we delay a pension, it grows for every year that we delay, or at least most of them. And so don't just go into a panic and say, oh, I need the money, I'm going to trigger my pension, I'm going to trigger my Social Security. You may be cutting yourself short, especially if you have longevity in your genes.
All right, and lastly, what do you do with your 401k?
Right, which for many people is the biggest asset they have, is that 401k, maybe outside their home, but for most people it's the biggest asset they have. This is the area where, as you get older, mistakes in this area can be very, very costly. So make sure that the decision you make on your 401k, most people should roll it over to an IRA, but the decisions you make more from an investment standpoint, Kara, they have to be the right decisions, understanding the stakes are very high. The closer you get to retirement, any mistake is magnified or compounded.
Okay, so we've got some tips for you. You have a free offer. You're going to be giving out a free book, Forced to Retire, and all you have to do to get it is email bettermoney@wfsb.com.
Right, and the Forced to Retire, we address all the things we just talked about. We address other things that are very important. It's sort of the 7 things you need to answer to get peace of mind if you've been offered an early retirement or if you're worried you're going to get an early retirement offer.
All right, thank you so much, Joel, and you can email and get that free book. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Kara. It's great to be here again.
That's Better Money.